first say, Bippin, please start that cemetery tourism business. It's a dying business, but it'll work. Okay, I'm sorry, no, not the comedy. It's not my niche. I came here not for comedy. I kind of really didn't come here for storytelling. I came for a group processing session. I need you guys to be my therapist, my life coach, my best friend to either nod at me or slap me in the face, because I'm going through relationship issues. Oh, you too? Or you haven't understood? You know it now, okay? Like, we'll see. I'm in this relationship, and it's borderline toxic. Like, there's a lot of misunderstanding. Don't get me wrong, there are moments of bliss, but I feel like we're just not seeing eye to eye. It's damaging sometimes. Some people are nodding, and that's kind of worrying me. No, but this is about my relationship with time. And yeah, now you sound disappointed, but let me explain. And don't worry, it's not going to be like some weird TED talk. Like, let me explain time to you. No, I find it very fascinating, this thing that we live in and how we move. Not a lot is understood about it, but the main thing, I'm not a physicist. I've just studied the topic thoroughly, and by that I mean I've like looked on Wikipedia for 30 minutes, you know? All right, so you have this thing called entropy. Everybody say entropy. Entropy. So it's the way that we understand time moves in one direction, because everything in the universe has only moved towards one end, and that is death. Away from heat, actually, to a constant temperature of death. So, for example, you go to the beach, right? You go to the most beautiful beach in the world, right there on Sandfort, right? And then you build a sandcastle. It's nice. Build a sandcastle. You and your friend, and you make it nice. You pack the sand. Over the course of a certain amount of time, what is that sandcastle going to turn into? A more grand, great, beautiful sandcastle? No, over a certain amount of time, you'll go back and you'll just see sand once again. Because everything in this universe moves towards a higher state of chaos. Nothing naturally on its own will ever move to more order, right? You don't leave your food out and then it turns into a Michelin star cuisine. You don't just leave your relationship alone and voila, it's a model relationship you've always wanted. No, things left to themselves move towards decay, and that's why me and time have this fight. And it's a fight because I think I've been trying to build different sandcastles over the course of my life. And these are these relationships, this intricate web and tapestry of relationships of people that I consider are close to me and that are key and that I need. And I try to keep it all neatly packed and close, but no matter how hard I try, the winds of time come and do their damage. And this is particularly evident living away from what I consider to be my home. Now, home is an interesting word in itself, but if you couldn't already tell, I'm not from the Netherlands, but I come from the States. I come from Texas, and I was born and raised there. A beautiful Tex-Mex family, from the womb. I was just loved, and I couldn't have asked for more. And now I'm here, and I've traded my horse for a bike, and here amongst the Dutchies, and it's great. But when I go visit my family about once every year, and when I go, I can see that sandcastle shift. Right? I don't know what your experience is of home. And it's kind of funky too, because now I've been here 8 years, and this is my home. I have roots here, and I have people I love, but that's also home. Can you have two homes? Yes. Or what if home is like time? It's not so much occupying a space, but it's a moment. It's a relational state. And I go and I see my grandma, my precious abuelita, and she's there, and she's making tortillas, but she's limping more, because that chemo takes a toll, and it's more than last year. time. It's doing this. But like I mentioned, it's also a complicated relationship. I don't just hate time, I also love it. Because when I hold my mom's hand, it's not just me and my mom when I'm 16. It's me now, 32 years old, and I'm coming back, and I've been 8 years away, and we've been through things, and we've had trials, and we can look at each other and smile differently than I did back then. I've needed time. Man, back then I think I just wanted them to drop me off at my girlfriend's house and kind of get out of the way, and so that I could just do my own thing. I had no appreciation of them, but time, it's taught me a lesson that I've needed. So I can't hate it completely. Time has allowed my niece and nephew, Ellie and Elijah, to grow. You know, I was there for my nephew's birth, and you've seen a newborn. It's a magnificent sight. They're not aware of much, right? They're just trying to survive. They're out of the womb. They're crying. But now he's almost 9 years old, fully aware. He's talking to me like a little human does, and I'm just like, what's this? He introduced me to his friends last Christmas when I visited. He said, Uncle Stephen, come over here. And I just love interacting with him. And so I'm like, okay, what's up, Elijah? He's like, these are my friends. Like these 5 girls. I'm like, Elijah. I don't want him years later come Mezrab, share kissing stories. And this is how he introduced me. He goes, friends, this is my Uncle Stephen. Uncle Stephen lives in Amsterdam. Not Amsterdam, Amsterdam. He doesn't have a cat, and he doesn't have a wife. Bro, they just humble me real quick. I wonder what his mom, my sister, is telling him. Yeah. No, it's a joy and a pain to watch him grow up, right? Do you have space for that kind of tension? Joy and a pain, something sorrowful yet rejoicing within you. And it's not just them, right? I can't view time and I can't view these sandcastles I built just objectively, like I'm outside of it. But strangely enough, I'm part of the sandcastle too. There's this book, it's called The New Refutation of Time by the poet Jose Luis, and I haven't read it, but I love this quote. I know y'all do the same thing. And in there he says, time is the substance I'm made of. It is the river which sweeps me along, yet I am the river. It is the tiger which consumes me, yet I am the tiger. It is a fire which destroys me, yet I am the fire. And I realize this thing that I hate and that I'm moving against, I'm also part of that within that stream, and I don't know what to do. There's this man named Augustine. He lived like in the 4th century. And he has this prayer, and I found a lot more solace in it recently. He said, Lord, I confess to you that I do not know what time is. And furthermore, I confess that even now as I'm speaking, I am conditioned by time. So all this to say, the relationship is complicated. Still trying to work things out, figure out how it's going to go, what's the end going to be like. I guess you can have cute adages and like little inspirational quotes. I don't know if that'll do, because it's costly, right? It's costly, but I have hope that it could heal. Maybe one day this relationship can come to a place of mutuality where we are not destroying the other, where we're not taking more than we are giving. I don't know where we can find a physician for time, but if you do, let me know. I'm very keen. So I guess I want to end with saying, what's your sandcastle? And I don't want to leave it too philosophical, but maybe you came here with somebody tonight. A friend, a lover, a colleague. Grab their hand tonight. Give them a hug. Make your stamp in time. Like we have this moment to build a sandcastle. Maybe it'll be remembered. Maybe not. And that's going to be beautiful, I think. And it's already happening now. Look, it's beautiful. And if you're like solo boat, you're like, hey, yeah. Come to me. I'll give you a hug afterwards. Okay? So here's to, I don't know how many more years I'll be here. I don't know how many more times I'll go back and see change, but I guess we're all on that same journey together. Thanks for listening.